Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks so much for joining today. Welcome, and thanks for joining. I'm Aaron Lacey, your host today, and let's go ahead and get started. Today's session is all about crafting a powerful online presence. This is something that, again, I think is a foundational element to your business. This will help you generate more repeat and referral business. It'll help you convert more leads, right? It'll strengthen relationships. It will, there are so many benefits from really understanding, number one, understanding what shows up when someone does a search for you on Google. And then number two, how to evaluate whether those results are positive, negative, or neutral. And then number three, how to improve the negative results or remove them, how to improve those neutral results, or how to make your good results even better. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover today. I want you, by the end of today's session, to be very clear with how to evaluate your online presence and how to improve it. And again, I'm always going to make myself available as a partner to WFG and a partner to launch, a partner to you. I'm going to make myself available as a resource for you. So if you have any questions, you want to dive into this, you need some help with it, whatever that looks like, reach out to Heidi. She'll connect us and get you moving forward with whatever you're trying to accomplish. So here we go. For those that aren't familiar with me, I think most on this call today are. There's also going to be a replay available that's going to be watched by quite a few. My name is Aaron Lacey. I work for a company called West, and West is the sister company of WFG National Title. So West is a technology marketing consulting company, and I am a marketing technology director. That's my formal title. Informally, I'm a psychology-driven digital marketer for real estate. I help agents go from good to great by uncovering blind spots because you don't know what you don't know. And I'm also an Inman contributing author, Inman ambassador, and I help agents in every area, every facet of digital marketing. And frankly, digital marketing could be, and arguably is, one of the most important skill sets you can have in real estate. Now, I think there's three main skill sets. I think you're a relationship person, right? So there's a relationship piece, which is very, very important. There's the sales piece, which goes hand in hand with relationships. And there's the marketing piece, right? So sales, relationship building, and marketing, and they all just kind of are interwoven with each other. I specialize really in all three, but specifically the digital marketing piece. So in enhancing and expanding your brand online, creating more market share for you. So let's dive into this session today. And this should take about 40 or so minutes. So we live in a time where visibility is more important than ability. And really interesting time, right? The fact that visibility trumps ability means that our visibility in everything that we do and everywhere that we are is actually more valuable to the growth of our business than our ability to actually successfully close a transaction. Now, it's a bizarre time, right? But visibility is incredibly, incredibly important. So this is all about, today's session is all about visibility. Now, your ability absolutely needs to be there. At the end of the day, for you to generate more referral business, you need to provide a great service and a great experience for your clients. But with that said, from a standpoint of someone that doesn't already know you, doesn't already have a connection to you, hasn't used you before, the visibility of you online is going to be more important than your ability. And so what we do know too, and you'll notice that I love stats, 91% of online adults use search engines to find information on the web. We all do. And so this just leads to the importance of, well, if over 9 out of 10 people use a search engine to find information on the web, how many of those people are searching for you that maybe just found out about you, just heard about you? They're a past client, they were referred to you. And so let's talk about just online reputation here for a second. What is the definition of online reputation? Well, it is the practice of shaping public perception, right? Shaping public perception about who you are, right? That's it. It's your image, your brand, your reputation, right? Incredibly important in today's day and age, especially right now during this pandemic, because internet usage is up substantially. Social media usage is up 60, 70%. People are going online to vet you out, to learn more about you. And so what we need to make sure that we're answering through everything that we're putting out online is that we are the right solution, that we're the go-to, we're the authority, okay? We're the thought leader, that we are someone that's going to help them create a successful transaction, right? Achieve a successful result. And if we look at perception here for a second, right? Perception is reality. The CEO of Better Homes and Gardens said that the more people know you, perceived or actual, the more they'll trust you, and the more they trust you, the greater likelihood that they'll work with you. Okay. And if you're familiar with this pyramid on the right-hand side, this is what's called the perception pyramid. It's really pretty interesting. But at the very bottom is going to be the foundation with the least amount of influence. And as you go up the pyramid, it actually increases in influence. So in other words, the increases the amount of influence you have over others or with others. So at the very bottom with the least amount of influence is what we think, right? Because that's really just within our own heads. What we say has a little more influence than that. What we do has more influence than that. And with the most influence is how we are perceived, our perception, right? What people are saying about us, what they think about us when they see our profiles, not just our social media profiles and not just our social media posts, but when they see our Google business profile, our Yelp business profile, when they see our website, right? What is the perception, right? Do we look like everybody else? Is there differentiation? Do we have a unique brand? Or do we have a unique way that we present ourselves and that the unique way that we speak? Are we sharing things that are different, that are unique, right? Or not, so how are we perceived? And so what we do know though, is the more we share, typically that's a good thing, right? Typically that's a good thing. But the more we share, the more likely people are to feel like they know us. Right? The more information that shows up when someone does a search for us on Google leads people to feel that we're more competent and capable, right? Because we've shared more about us. We've been more transparent with our business. We've got, we're more open to sharing. Like, you'll notice that a lot of people that are really trusted are ones that actively share. Right? They actively share their lives specifically, but they share different aspects of their business. They're constantly just providing what's called, again, transparency into their lives, into their personal lives, their business lives. And what I would say is for you, we need to create that transparency with your business. We need to create that transparency. And then with social media, you can create transparency right into your life by just basically documenting your life. But that transparency leads to trust. You'll notice if anybody is a In-N-Out fan, I'm a huge In-N-Out burger fan, although I've shied away from In-N-Out over the last several months, but I guess I kind of go in waves. But I'll tell you this, when you're in the drive-thru at In-N-Out, you'll notice that they have glass windows looking right into the kitchen. You can actually see them making the burgers, preparing everything. And there's always that girl, right? I always feel like it's this like a young girl, 17-year-old girl is crushing the potatoes, making the French fries right there. And you kind of like catch eyes with her. That is transparency, you guys. That is one of the reasons why In-N-Out is what it is. Now, In-N-Out tastes great, but the fact is they built a lot of trust with their customers because they provided a window right into the back end of their operation, right? You can see the people flipping the burgers. Like, can you see that at Five Guys or In-N-Out or McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, right? You can't. That's not available. There's not as much trust created with their customer base, and therefore they're just not as successful. That's why In-N-Out's so successful, or one of the reasons. Is because of that transparency. Again, that's just one small example of how transparency leads to trust. And with trust comes massive business growth. So what I want to do, and if you guys can, follow along with me and search for yourselves on Google. Okay, search for yourself on Google. And what we want to do though, couple of tips when searching for yourself on Google. First of all, the goal is to mimic the experience of someone that's not you. So you're going to imagine yourselves in the shoes of someone that was referred to you or a past client, and they're going to search for you on Google, okay? And they're going to type in your first and last name, and we want to find out what the search results look like when they do that. Now, here's the deal, though. If you search for yourself on Google, odds are you're logged into Google. already in that browser. And Google, of course, knows that you're searching for yourself. They're going to show you results that would be different than what someone else might see if they were to do that same search for you. So what you want to do is actually use a different browser, and one that is not logged into Google, to search for yourself. Okay. And we want to look at those results. We want to see what shows up, those top 7 to 10 results. What shows up, what doesn't show up, what were you expecting? If you were to put yourselves in the shoes of somebody that didn't already know you, what would they think of just the results? I'm not even talking about clicking into the results. Just what do those results say about you? What websites show up? Is it your LinkedIn profile on your brokerage website, Realtor.com profile, Zillow profile? What else shows up? Okay. So that's what we're going to really touch on today. And so we know that, people are going to search for your first and last name, but they're also going to add the word. Let's say, you have a common, fairly popular name. Maybe it's like, Mary Smith, right? That's going to be a difficult one to really like own the results for. So what's going to happen is someone's going to type in Mary Smith, not see the real estate agent that they're looking for. And they're going to add the word realtor after her name. So Mary Smith Realtor or Mary Smith Real Estate. They'll also do Mary Smith, launch, or Mary Smith Scottsdale. Okay. So question is, when you do this for yourself, what shows up? Okay. What are those top 10 results? We really need to analyze those. Those are basically like 10 people that are standing in a row basically saying, you should use Heidi. You shouldn't use Heidi. I don't know. She's okay. You know what I mean? That's really, those results are speaking words, right? They're speaking without speaking, but they're saying a lot about you and your ability to craft a successful result. What happens when nothing shows up? All right, when someone does a search for you and no results show up, or maybe just a few, and maybe it's the third one and the seventh one is you, but there's some other people in there, right? What do people think, right? Here's the deal, though. We know that, and consumers know that we are and should be marketers. Okay, they're used to us marketing ourselves, promoting ourselves, or they're used to us marketing properties, promoting properties for them. On the buyer side, like let's say a home buyer searches for you and they don't see a lot of results. Well, the perception could be, from a home buyer standpoint, there's not a lot of results for Heidi, that maybe she isn't the best fit for me. Maybe she doesn't know how to use the internet very well. Maybe she's not really familiar with technology. Therefore, the perception might be that she's not going to be able to find that perfect home for us. Or if, let's say, on the flip side, a seller does a search for you, they don't see powerful, really consistent results. Well, they're going to feel like maybe you might not be able to effectively market their property for sale, right? And so again, perception is reality. Visibility is more important than ability in a lot of cases.
I'm sorry if it's loud, but I have a question.
No problem.
So I know that Zillow realtors have kind of moved away, but what about your Zillow profile? Is that something that we should care about anymore, or Realtor.com?
Yeah, so Realtor.com definitely, and that's great questions, Heidi. Realtor.com definitely is a very important place to be, because consumers, buyers and sellers, think that Realtor.com is really our hub, right? It is, we're realtors, and that's Realtor.com. So that should be like the Mecca for the realtor. And therefore, the association is, or the perception is, that our profile should be at its most robust, its most accurate, its most recent on Realtor.com than any other profile. And when they find that that's not the case, because guess what? Realtor.com will automatically create profiles for us. And quite a few of us don't even realize it, that that just because we're a realtor, they've created this profile because they saw that, we were in a database somewhere, right? And they created a profile with no headshot, no background photo, no bio, contact information was just that of the brokerage, right? Just this super generic bio or super generic profile. And therefore, if a buyer or a seller lands on this website or this profile, all of a sudden they think, well, why hasn't Kim filled out her profile? Like, why is this? Is she part-time? is she still in the business? Right? You guys, that's the perception. So it's a negative, really a negative thing. And here's the thing about realtor.com. Realtor.com has a lot of what's called domain authority with Google. So therefore, realtor.com shows up pretty high in those search results. Okay. It shows up in probably your top 5 results, be my guess. Okay. Zillow as well. Something fairly similar with Zillow. Zillow is a very trusted real estate resource from a consumer standpoint, right? Zillow, over 200 million unique visitors on the Zillow platforms every month. Here's the deal though. Zillow is a little bit of a different animal. Now, while it is still a listing portal and it's filled with real estate agents, just like realtor.com, Zillow is something that it's a great lead generator, right? It's a great lead generator for buyers, great lead generator for sellers. That's really what it is. It's a lead generator. It's there to attract people, to get them to take action and reach out to an agent. Submit a contact form for a showing or more information for a property, or to find out, their home value or get an offer on their home. And so what I would stay away from is promoting a Zillow profile, right? Too heavily, unless you're affiliated with Zillow, unless you're part of their Premier Agent program, their Flex program, I would not feed Zillow anymore, right? Because what happens inevitably? You met somebody at an open house and they're searching for you online to kind of vet you out because they felt like they really hit it off with you. Your Zillow profile shows up. They kind of read through your profile. They go, yeah, I like what I see. But what happens? They also go, you know what? I wonder if there are more homes available in that area. And they know that Zillow is the go-to for home searches, right? So they start searching for other homes. And next thing they know, they request more information for a home that they really like. And that request goes into another agent that's part of their Flex program. And before you know it, they're now working with that other agent because you took the time to update your Zillow profile, and therefore it moved it up in the Google search results for you. So long answer, Heidi, to that question is I wouldn't feed Zillow any longer, right? I would try to get Zillow and remove it out of my top 10 search results on Google. And the best way to do that is to pay attention to your other profiles, update them, and really ensure they're totally filled out in their entirety. That will then move them above Zillow as being a more relevant result, and eventually kind of bump Zillow down out of that top 10. Okay. But the fact of the matter is though, people trust Zillow. So even if Zillow shows up in your top 10, make sure it's filled out. If it doesn't show up in your top 10 search results, let's just keep it out. Let's not give it any more attention. So don't update it. Just leave it be. Okay. Because when you update a profile or you update a website, Google gets notified of that update, and then they will determine if that result or that profile or website is more relevant as a search result for you or not, and therefore it could actually move it up in the search results. Okay. So here's a couple other stats, and you'll notice, I love stats. Like everything I do is based, and everything I talk about has some sort of, it's based in facts. It's based in reality, right? It's based in proven concepts. And so what we found is that almost 50% of people said that they found something in an online search that made them decide not to do business with a person, right? With an agent. Almost 50% said they found it literally just something in the Google search results that caused them not to want to do business with somebody, right? And you guys, here's the deal. We don't know when that's happening. We have no idea because we never hear from these people. It's not like they're then still calling us up and saying, Heidi, I found something in your search results on Google and I'm not going to work with you. Like we don't get that call, unfortunately. So we don't know when that's happening. That's why we have to be very proactive with this. 56% on the other hand said that they found something in our search results that solidified their decision to want to do business with us. So here's the deal. If you read these, if you look at these stats, they're basically saying that when somebody searches for us online, they are going to move forward with us. It's not them going, is this the right person? Is this somebody that I should move forward with? They're basically going, I am going to move forward with this person. I'm going to return their phone call, their email, their text, their direct message. but I just want to make sure they're the right person and see if there's a reason I shouldn't. Okay. Reason I shouldn't. So that's what they're looking for. Red flags, a reason not to. So let me just summarize what we've covered so far. We've covered people will Google us. Okay. We know 9 out of 10 people are searching for us on Google. They're going to Google. They're not going to Bing. They're not going to anywhere else. They're going to Google. People are making large judgments. Again, they're deciding whether to move forward with us or not based on small amounts of information. And we never know when someone disqualifies us. So are we losing opportunities? And the fact is, yes, we are. Most of us are. We've done multiple studies. I've worked with a big team that we found out they were losing upwards of 30% of their lead conversion, of their lead opportunities with a weak online presence. When we increased the visibility for them, when we improved all of their online profiles and ensured the right ones showed up, they almost immediately saw over a 30% increase in the amount of leads that were responding to their outbound texts and phone calls. So, okay. So that's what we know. Let me spotlight a few agents for us real quick. Okay. And let's kind of get down in the nitty gritty of this. So we've been kind of hovering in the conceptual arena. I want to show you what this looks like very tangibly here on Google. So I'm going to actually show you 3 agents that when I put this presentation together, I actually met them in San Francisco at a Inman Connect conference a couple years ago. And so these are 3 agents I met there. The first agent was Tomer, and I researched him and his online presence. Let me just do a comparison. It's a little different than the second agent, Alla, right? She's got a little bit of a different. These are all LA. I think this is a Beverly Hills agent. This was her online presence at the time. Notice the difference between these 2 profiles, these 2 results. One has a profile on the right-hand side, the other doesn't. Notice that? So
why does she have that star next to her name on the right?
Yeah, so that star is it gives somebody the option to favorite that profile.
Oh, okay.
Like save it, yeah. That's called a Google Business Profile, and that's something that I help agents set up. So Google Business Profile. So she has taken the time to create that profile. Also, you'll notice under her name on that profile, she's got 8 Google reviews. So she's also taken the time to ask 8 people to rate her, right? Very easy. It's a quick text message with a link right to this profile. And look what it's doing for her. Now it's providing what's called that social proof that she is creating successful results, that others have trusted her with and achieved a positive result. So you'll notice Tomer, little to no online presence. Now, just a little fun side note, Tomer is the agent to the Kardashians. So he's not having to work super hard to generate pretty decent sized commissions. But anyways, you get my point. Okay, Tomer, little to no online presence. It's his first perception, right? Is not super strong. All is a little more strong. And look what we have here. Okay. Tammy, on the other hand, strong, right? I'm impressed with what I see. And let me tell you the difference. She has created a Google Business Profile. And you'll notice that also in the search results, you'll see ratings and reviews. Okay, I see those orange stars everywhere. So that's the social proof aspect. And she has taken the time to ask her past clients and frankly, anybody that knows her in a business capacity to rate and review her. And
so I know everybody is afraid of Yelp because you can get a bad review. I just trying to persuade people to go beyond that. And
yes, yeah. The benefit to having a Yelp business profile far exceeds not having one, even if you do receive a bad review. And frankly, we have to ask ourselves, why do we get the bad review? Now, I've seen bad reviews that were totally misguided and they were meant for somebody else, and just other people having a bad day and just wanted to slam somebody and really talk negatively about them. But frankly, that can happen anywhere, you guys. But the thing is, in order to be successful, we have to put ourselves out there and for criticism.
right.
Which is, it's just we have to do that. We can't just hide.
And do you recommend engaging with the negative comment?
Absolutely. I would engage with every comment.
Okay.
Every review that you get, you want to respond to, even if it's negative. So positive and positive, for that matter. Positive, thank them, acknowledge what they wrote. Negative, thank them, acknowledge what they wrote. And then it's your opportunity to show that you're human. Maybe you made a mistake, or just to share that this is a totally misguided review. And frankly, it's not accurate. Here's the truth. You know what I mean? A lot of people are looking for those 1-star reviews because they feel like those are the most real. Like they're getting to see the insight into like imperfection, a disagreement, an argument of some sort. You know what I mean? And that's where they feel like they're going to get the most real perspective of who you are and how you're going to operate if the shit hits the fan, pardon my French, in a real estate transaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to really find out what I'm getting into, usually I don't go, okay, you know what? We're getting ready to hire Heidi. How great is she? Usually it's like, okay, what's the dirt? What do people say negatively about her? Right. And of course, nothing. So because you're fantastic. But okay. So anyways, you guys get the comparison there. You'll also notice though, having other profiles where you're generating reviews from, that Google business profile will automatically pull those in as long as it makes the association. There's nothing you're going to do to create the association between this Google business profile that is now displaying reviews from the web, which are your other profiles that also have reviews for you. There's no way we can plug those in. Google does that automatically based on your name, address, and phone number. Okay, so we want to make sure those are totally in sync with each other. They're consistent. Okay. The other thing I want to mention, if we look at Google Business Profile on desktop, which is the left-hand side, you're on your laptop, or we look at that profile and let's say someone does a search for you on their phones, look what shows up on the right-hand side. That Google Business Profile is really one of the most impressive results on Google when someone does a search for you from their phone. Okay. And you'll notice that there's contact icons there. They can call you. They can actually message you now as well. Everything shows up above the search results. So you notice the bottom of on the right-hand side, the view of the phone, you'll see it where it says top results, Gluck Group home. That's going to match the search results. That's when the actual search results actually start. So the very first thing they see that takes up your entire screen is your Google business profile. So again, that's why it's so important to create that profile, and secondarily to get that filled out in its entirety and generate, ask for those ratings and reviews. Okay. Just as a heads up, that Google business profile will pull in other reviews from the web, and it'll pull in up to 3 different other websites. And it looks at this pool of websites to figure out, which ones that you have that also have reviews for you. And so I'm not saying you need to have all these profiles by any means, but just keep in mind, if you do have a profile on one of these other websites, it's very likely that Google will pull in those reviews and display them on the Google business profile. Okay. And one other thing too, you'll notice, and for those that already have a Google business profile, if you look at your insights, you'll notice that what's great is Google will tell you how many times that profile, your profile, has shown up in the Google search results. And oftentimes what we're finding is that most of the times it shows up in the Google search results on that right-hand side next to the search results, it is not because someone did a search for you specifically. They did not type your first and last name in. They typed something else in related to the service you provide or related to real estate. And in this case, if you look at this search, I did a search for top real estate agent in Phoenix. The first 2 results are ads. Then you'll see that map, a Google map with pins dropped on it. And there's 3 main pins dropped, and those 3 pins signify 3 agents: Thomas Myriad, which is a real estate group, and Capstone Realty Professionals. Okay. And so what's really neat there is that actually the first results for that search, it's not Yelp, It's not, Zillow. It is Google business profiles, and ones that have at least a rating of 4 or above. Okay. How much business? Look at the top result. Thomas Osterman. How much business do you think he gets by being the top of that list? I bet he gets, and I haven't asked him, and I should reach out to him and ask him, find out how much business he gets from showing up there. So here's the deal. Hammer this home one more time. We risk losing almost a quarter of our business when potential clients find one negative article on the first page of their search results. That doubles for 2 negative results, triples for 3. Okay, what's negative, what's positive? Let me show you a negative result. Recently, I did a search for an agent. We go through this, what's called an online audit. Okay, so if anyone's interested in an online audit, let Heidi know. I'd be happy to do this with you. It takes 15 minutes where we just audit your online presence over Zoom. And so we did this with Sam, and his third result was not good. Look at this. 2-star rating, 1 review. Of course, what are people going to be attracted to? A potential referral or a past client. They're going to be attracted to this profile. They want to go, wait, why is Sam a 2 out of 5? When you click into that profile, look what shows up. There's a meter that actually shows that Sam, there's a picture of Sam, a black and white picture that was, by the way, this was automatically created without any effort.
This is so awful.
Horrible, right? And there's this little meter that shows up and it's right through the word poor.
I would die.
Reputation score 2.02 out of 5, right? So how horrible is this? Horrific.
It's horrible.
How much business potentially has Sam lost out on because of this profile?
All.
And here's the thing, probably a significant amount. And Sam does business.
Wow.
And I was just saying, Sam, how much more business could we have done if we didn't have this profile show up for you? Okay. Here's the deal, you guys. What is this website? This website is it's garbage, right? It's just a garbage website. But the fact is, Joe and Sally homeowner have no idea what this is. They think it's something that's legitimate, right? Visibility trumps ability. This is, the perception is that he's poor for whatever reason. Now, if you dive into this, I can tell you that the reputation score is just some arbitrary number that they pulled from looking at his social media profiles and how many friends he's got. Some stupid formula that's now really negatively affecting his livelihood. So this is, to my point, this just underscores the importance to know what's showing up for us online. So here's what else really makes up our online reputation, and it's kind of the magnitude of that. Social media for sure, all these different business profiles for sure, but not just the fact that we have them. It's how recent are we, what was the recency of our most, how recent ago did we post last? What about our profile photos, our cover and background photos, right? Have we updated them in their entirety, right? What do we have on LinkedIn? Do we have a Twitter profile where our last tweet was from 2016? YouTube, have we taken the time to create that YouTube channel and actually, brought content to that? Or is it just a YouTube profile that's showing up that doesn't have anything on it? Yelp, Google My Business, your website. Does your website create differentiation? Is it unique, or is it pretty similar to other agents? Okay, so these are all questions we need to take a look at. We need to answer, right? It's not easy to go through this. It's not easy to do this. This takes time, but it's something that we need to be aware of. And we need to be intentional about really understanding how people are perceiving what we're doing online through each of these different profiles. And here's what I would say. Your online presence, your online reputation really, and at the top of the pyramid would be your Google business profile, Yelp, and either Facebook or Zillow, again, depending on whether you're a Zillow Premier agent or not, okay? So Google My Business and Yelp are gonna be your top 2. Brand inconsistency. What is this? This is a huge issue for Google right now, and that is the inconsistency of information that Google has for you. specifically as it relates to your name, address, and phone number. Because if Google can't find you and match you up to you and verify that you are who you are, then it's not going to be able to return the right results for you, and therefore your online presence is going to suffer. The other thing that's not matching up typically are our titles, the titles that we use to describe ourselves. Are we a realtor, real estate professional, real estate expert, right? Neighborhood specialist, luxury property specialist? What title do we use? Let's pick a title and stick to it, because consumers are confused. Google gets confused. That's not a good thing. So we talked about your profile photo, background cover photo, your bio. How powerful is your bio that's showing up, right? Is it creating uniqueness in your business?
Oh, and on the bio thing, I have a new writer that I just started using, and she will either start a bio from scratch for you. She'll send you a list of questions, or you can send her your current bio and she'll ramp it up. And it was unbelievable. She did it so quick, and what a difference.
Awesome. Yeah. So I've got a seven question bio builder as well. So be happy to help you with the bio as well.
Can we send that to everyone?
So, yep.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys, let's touch on online reviews for a second. 88% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. So 9 out of 10 people trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. Crazy. Right. And we know, according to NAR stats, that 80% of sellers choose their agent based on a referral. So how powerful is getting a referral? How powerful are these online reviews? 90% of consumers read online reviews before reaching out to a business owner. Okay. 5-star review isn't actually the best, right? All 5s aren't the best. Why do you think that is? And actually they found that the sweet spot is 4.3. Why do you think that is? Do you think it seems a little more credible, a little more real if you've got some sub 5-star reviews?
Yeah.
You know, people, yeah.
No, yeah, doesn't look real.
Too perfect.
Totally. When was the last time you were on Amazon to buy a car charger? You saw nothing but 5 stars and you go, how can this be totally perfect? Usually what I do is I'll go to Amazon, I'll look at the most recent reviews, look at some of the 5 stars, and then I'll look at the ones. I'll click on one and go, let's look at some of those ones. And then maybe the 2s and 3s and 4s. It's really those reviews that are like 3 or 4 that really tell you, okay, here's what's really going on. This person wasn't just totally ticked off, right? They weren't just raging on this product. They actually had probably a legitimate issue, and therefore they wanted to rate it a 5, but they didn't. I wonder why not. That's what gives you the most insight and transparency into what that product might be like. Same for you. When you get that less than perfect score, that's your opportunity to show that you're a human and respond to that in an effective way. The CMO of ERA said their agents are seeing a 20% increase in lead conversion rates with agents that have ratings and reviews. And a lot of agents, we still don't have those ratings and reviews quite yet. So we need to put a system in place. We need to be intentional about it. I talk all the time about micro goals. You should have a micro goal on generating at least a rating or a review, asking for one every single day. You should ask for one every day. And it could be a very quick text message you send out. It could be an email that you have, literally like an email template where you've emailed yourself the email and then you just resend it to people. You just copy and paste, say the same thing, and ask one person a day, you guys, okay, to rate you on either Google, Yelp, or Facebook. Okay. Because the fact is 7 out of 10 will do so if we simply ask them. Okay. But we need, you guys, the success of our business relies on reviews. And the thing is, reviews are so important. They're so much more important than a testimonial. What is a testimonial? It's an impartial, or it's a basically kind of like a paid advertisement. So if you those testimonials where people share some positive words on social media through a post or on their website, what's happening is consumers don't trust those because they don't see those as being objective and having much integrity. It's easy to change what that person said. It's easy to make that up.
Is Google difficult like Yelp? Like I had, when I was doing real estate, I had one of my past clients, it was from a couple of years back, tried to leave a Yelp review and it kicked him out, said he
Yeah,
wasn't
Yelp is
valid.
tough. Yelp is tough. What you want to do is Yelp actually in their terms of service say they don't want you to solicit reviews, right? So if you ask a bunch of people to review you on Yelp, odds are they're not gonna show up, unfortunately. So so what I'd recommend is simply ask on occasion for Yelp, and and again, it's that game where we hope they show up, but sometimes they don't. Okay. The last thing I want to touch on today is voice search. The importance of voice search. By the end of this year, 50% of all online searches will be through voice. And that's simply talking to your phone, talking to a smart home device. And a lot of us have these at home. And what we don't realize is that these are either powered by Yelp or Google. When someone asks for, where's the nearest real estate agent near me? Who's the best luxury real estate agent in Scottsdale? If they ask Amazon Echo or Apple HomePod or even Siri, those devices all turn to Yelp for the results. Like if you ask Siri right now, or after we finish today's training, who the best real estate agent is near you, it's going to turn to Yelp for those results. On an Android, it'll turn to Google for those results. Pretty crazy, right? Yeah. Facebook, another very important place to be. Facebook is really spending a lot of money into building up its business directory. So definitely be there. Another profile you create is your about.me profile. Again, it's just a business card for you online, about.me. How do you get reviews? Create a script, you guys. Add your links. Please help me and review me here. Okay. Very simple. Give them 3 options. If you need to, bribe them with gift cards. Okay. Bribery always works. If you want to just do a little vet of yourself to analyze your search results, go to brandyourself.com, sign up for that free service, or reach out to Heidi and we'll get 15 minutes scheduled with you. Last thing I want to leave you with, Google Alerts. Check this out. It's a great way to get notified as soon as Google does for anything that shows up for you online. Very, very powerful system. You save alerts, just like you save an MLS search, save an alert. Keywords, your name, company name, clients' names, clients' businesses, communities, your competitors get notified at the same time Google gets notified as soon as anything shows up online for them. You guys, thank you so much for your time today. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. And this replay should be available, this one by next week. And again, if you want to dive into your online presence, highly encourage you to reach out to Heidi. She'll get us scheduled for that. It's about a 15 to 30 minute online audit. So thank you so much for joining. Heidi, do you want to close it out?
Yeah, thanks guys. I just want to let you know I had Courtney and Chad from the Shriner team in yesterday, and we did their Google profile and updated all of that stuff, and it was actually really easy. It seems overwhelming, but once you get going, it literally takes 15-20 minutes. So if you guys need help, just email me and we can set it up and get it done, because that's super important. I think at the top of your list of anything that you do is getting that situated, and then we can go from there.
Yep, it's best to start now. I've done hundreds of those, so it literally doesn't take long at all, and we'll get you moving in the right direction. You guys, thanks so much. We'll see you next week, where we're going to dive into conversion, mastering the art of top of mind. Have a great week, you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, see you later.
Bye guys.